All right, everybody. Welcome again to another session for GrooveKart today with Mr. Frank Salinas. My name is John Garcia. And, well, Frank, want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me, John?
Yep, can hear you loud and clear, Frank. How's everything?
Good, good. I want to just I refreshed everything, and for some reason, it's asking me to log in. So we might, So I'm gonna open up a new browser. So you keep talking. I think we discussed earlier. We're gonna open the first few minutes just to get people to ask a couple questions, and then we're gonna dive in deep after the first 10 minutes.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, Frank does that in the event that you need to do something else. Ping me out, Frank. I want to welcome everybody. So, everybody that is watching this for the first time, remember these are sessions that Frank Salinas and I are putting together so we can actually show you how to start your own GrooveKart store from the ground up. Today, we're going to have a special feature. We are going to show you how to do certain things that were not ready last week, but now you can use them. Something with the logos for mobile. Frank was going to do that. So as soon as he jumps back in, we're going to do that as well. And we're going to have a little bit of a small QA session as well for any GrooveKart questions related that you might have. But most importantly, we're going to teach you guys how to start. And last session, we actually covered how to create the logo, how to select the domain, how to connect the domain. So today, we're going to just keep going with the process. We're going to start step by step how to do certain things. And we'll be working out with Frank. Frank is going to actually share his screen, and we're going to be doing a couple of other stuff. So, Frank, let me allow me to let you in, Frank. Let me see here. Oh, all right. Now you're there. Perfect.
There we go. Can you
Awesome.
hear me?
All right, Frank.
All right, you guys ready? Sorry about that. What happened is I cleared my cookies, and next thing you know, I logged back in, and I'm like, oh, I'm not in the dashboard. So here we are. We're ready to go.
All right. So, Frank, as I was telling our audience today, we're going to be working a couple of things. But I know I heard earlier when we were speaking, you have a little bit of a feature that you want to actually show us today.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
new
Let me.
that is unearthed for the first time. So,
I
care to
got,
share that with us?
and I got a surprise for everyone.
All
Okay,
right. All right. Let's do it.
I got a surprise. I totally forgot about this. I bought this. Let me just tell you the surprise now. Okay, so you want to hang tight. You want to hang tight. I'm gonna keep an open loop here. So the other day I bought some designs on Etsy, and I told the person I bought these vectors from, and we're going to show you how to do that in a second. Hey, I got a group of students. I didn't tell them, it could possibly be, 50,000 people that we want to show how to do print on demand. Do you mind if I share these? And they said, no problem. They said, make sure they download them and look at each one, blah, blah, blah. There's over 1,000 designs, so you don't have to worry about stepping on each other's toes or worrying if another Groove user uses your same design, because there's over 1,000 designs, and not all of them are for t-shirts and mugs and things. Some of them are just like icons. However, I'm going to give you that Dropbox, not Dropbox, Google Drive link, and it's just like as if you bought it on Etsy. But we're also going to, in this session, do a quick little rundown of how you can do it on Etsy and get your own designs without going and looking at what I'm going to provide you. It's free for you being here. I'm going to provide the link, and then you can just go unzip stuff, look around, and see. Maybe you find a design in a niche that you want to go into, or that you're already in, and it's just something you can add. So part of what we're going to do in this training is show you how to take a simple design and then upload it. And so, John, what we might do to save time is we might set it up in our Groove Printful account, and then later I can take a few minutes, or you, or while I'm talking, create a quick new Printful account using the new store, My Cat Swag, as the email. Because if we run ads, we're gonna have to fulfill it, right? So,
Certainly. So, yeah, we can do that. So, whatever you need me to do. And again, guys, remember the beautiful thing about these sessions is as we go along, you see your progress. And as I was speaking with Frank earlier, we have done this in the past, but it was at some point with somebody. We actually had students, something we call the GrooveKart Challenge. Now, the difference is that you guys can work along with us. So, any ideas that you picked up along the way, take advantage of that. Create a we're talking about creating a different separate account for Printful because we have, of course, this is going to be our case study. This is something that we're creating, but we're going to make it functional because that's the goal. So we follow along with the process and we follow you along with the process. So we're going to keep doing that. And let's just do that. So you're going to take the reins right now. I'll be working in the background. I'll create the account maybe in Gmail, and then we create the account in Printful. And most likely, I think it will be a great moment for us to connect the account from GrooveKart to Printful. So
Yeah.
we can get that out of the way. I think that would be a great second and third step.
Yeah,
So
let's
that'd be
do
great.
that.
Awesome. And
Okay.
also, guys, remember, everybody that is actually in the comments that is still is identified as a Facebook user, please go to facebook.com/live StreamYard so you can actually just download a little plugin to your browser and you can be identified so we can actually recognize you. And if you have a question, we can actually just address you by your name. We hate to say Facebook users. Not that we hate Facebook users, but we would like to know who we're talking about and who we're addressing. So let's do that, Frank. I'm going to just give you the full screen right now so you can actually just do your thing while I do that. And we'll see you in a second.
All right. So I'm going to hit share, and then we're going to log into Groove, and I'm going to start from the beginning just so we can refresh our memory, right? So I'm just going to start from the GrooveKart section in. I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay. So let's share, share screen. And then here we go. Window, boom, boom. And then you tell me if you can see my screen and tell me if you can see the GrooveKart section inside of our Groove account. So here we are. You should be able to see my cat swag. And then, got some demos here and then the Groove gear. So you can see that, right, John?
Yeah, actually, you can see that, but I'm trying to figure it out why you're not. I add you to the stream here, but I don't know why. Okay, we're having a little bit of technical issue here.
No problem. Let's see.
All right, no, I see myself, which is not the idea because we want to see you, Frank. Now
Yeah.
we see the both of us here.
Yeah.
And, ooh, okay.
How about now? Let me just I won't click my mouse no more. So right now I'm showing the GrooveKart area inside of Groove.
Correct. Yeah, so we're all set now. Is everybody out there looking at the same thing that we're looking, guys?
Yeah. And what
Sorry
I'm
for
going
the
to
little
do
confusion
too,
there.
I'm going to open up YouTube and just double check so that I can always keep that in mind. And guys, bear with me. I'm a newbie when it comes to StreamYard. I am not as versed as, the wonderful David Lemon. So John's conscious, right? David Lemon. So you guys remember from last time. Okay, great. I can see on YouTube we're looking good, right? So let's go. So this is my cat swag. So we're going to log into the dashboard. All righty. I'm excited. So here we are, right? So the one thing I wanted to show you compared to the last time is we now have a new little feature. If you go into settings, if you remember last time we went through the wizard, right? And we got up until the domain, right? So if you go to mycatswag.com, lo and behold, boom, you're going to land on the site, right? But I just want to show this cool little feature real quick. If we go to settings and go to store information, you will see now we have this cool little thing for upload mobile logo. Now, let me explain to you why you might do this. So let's give you an example of, let's say you have a logo and it's rectangular, right? And it has text on it. So it's an image and it's rectangular and you have some words. And let's say it's a very identifiable icon you have, and it's a very unique icon of yours. And let's say you already have a following or you already have a presence where you can set it up to where on mobile it just shows the icon or the logo and not all the extra text that might be too small to read on mobile. So that's why we created that, so that let's say you have an optimized version that looks good on iPad and laptop and big screens. And then on mobile, you can show them maybe an optimized version of that logo for mobile that is easy to read, easy to recognize, and they might actually have the same elements, same colors, and everything, but you maybe have it positioned different, or you just have the actual your logo, right? So, give you an example. At one point, I had an old store that I sold, and it was called. Let's just say it was called the shirt something, right? And I had a really cool, unique icon that mimicked and looked similar to Mike Ditka of the Chicago Bears from back in the day, right? It was his outline, but it was different colors, and the mustache was a little bit different. But if you go look up Mike Ditka outline or Mike Ditka cartoon, you'll kind of see what that looks like. And I had a designer make it custom and similar, but a little bit different. And then it had red, blue, and white colors. And that was our logo and our brand. And so when people saw that, after a few days of running ads and things like that and retargeting, it was very recognizable. And so on mobile, I could have used just that guy's little head, and then on desktop it would say, the shirt blank, and have text and stuff under it. So that's why you would use a mobile logo. Maybe you just want to show that image and the icon on mobile, and then on desktop and laptop you have the full logo with the image and the extra text and things like that. Is that making sense, John?
Yeah, actually it makes perfect sense.
All right, sounds good. So I'm not going to demonstrate that here, but so like let's say my cat swag on desktop was more like a rectangle, and then on mobile we use the round one. So that would be that case scenario, and it's the same purpose. Excuse me, it's the same principle. You just click upload, and then you can choose to either crop it or use the full image. And I'd like to add that I successfully, John, I don't know if you can see that. I successfully went behind the scenes and I changed the favicon to now have just the little cat. And,
Yeah, I did see that.
yeah. So again, you want to think about this. I know it's not that big of a deal, but you want to be consistent with your branding. And John can speak on that a lot. That you want the little details like the favicon. Why? Because if they're on a browser at home, they're going to recognize your store by that favicon. So you don't want it just to be the default thing that shows up. No, you want it to be your branding, your colors, so they can easily recognize. Because there's going to be people that go to your store and they get ready to buy, and all of a sudden their son calls, their daughter calls, bill collector calls, whatever. They pick up the phone. Yeah, hello. Okay, yeah, okay. And then they walk away. And next thing you know, their kid gets on to check, what's playing at AMC theaters. Boom, you missed out on the opportunity. But let's say it's still on another tab. Boom, your favicon is showing, and that's going to remind them, oh, let me go back and buy that cool cat mom sweater, right? So.
And remember, not only the colors, not only the actual icon itself, but it also has to do with the top of mind. The more you see the same image, the more successful you can be. Just think about this. And I'm going to just leave the question open. Why do people drive BMW, or why do people drive Mercedes, or why do people drive Honda? Is it because they like the car or they like the brand itself? So it is a lot of the greatest things about marketing and top of mind. Most of the people that drive Mercedes Benz, they said, oh, it has a car with history and a car with it's a good machinery. Got great engines. Most people will have to say the same thing about BMW or whatever brand. But at the end of the day, what makes all those brands recognizable is what? Their logos. They're universally known logos like Nike, BMW, Mercedes Benz, Honda, whatever brand of whatever thing that you can think of is what they are known for. So it's always good to have your own identity, your own branding. Like, for example, right here, the G. So the G identifies grooves that are all over the place. I mean, I have seen people fight for these lights. And
now the
there you
latest
go.
edition, GrooveZilla, right? So
And the masks that actually were showcased in the actual cruise, Michelle was actually featuring those. So those are the things that you need to think about. And you know what? Your logo doesn't have to be great. Remember that. You're starting. You can start as little as you want. And then whenever you're making money, you can actually just get better at it.
I'd like to add my first Shopify store after I transitioned from Teespring to Shopify was a logo that I made on Canva. Believe it or not, that was when I first found Canva. Um, I don't even remember where I found the resource. Somebody mentioned it in a Facebook group, and I made the logo literally in about 5 minutes, like you did. I didn't even think about it. I just made it and I ran with it.
And I'm gonna just highlight a comment here by Adolf Katia. Branding is more than a logo, certainly. But you see, you're talking about a small business that you're starting. You gotta start somewhere. And I'm gonna just do a quote. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And a good place to start is a logo. Once you define the logo, once you start with validating something, then you start identifying yourself with it, and people identify you with it. So thank you, thank you, Adolf, for that information, for that little note, because it's really true. After the logo comes many other things like colors, uh, languages, storytelling. There's a lot of things that come with branding, but we're starting. So my friend, continue with the demo. I'm almost done with the account here
Yeah.
in email. I might need you to do me a favor if you can send me internally the login of the store, so we can actually just I can set up so I can show my screen in a few minutes, so we can do the connection to
Yeah.
the Printful.
Okay, great. And then also, I was just thinking, once you create the Gmail account, like you said, we can also show, if you want, we can go get the Gmail code, the key to set up the Google CAPTCHA, which is on the same setting. So let me share my screen and let me go into that. And this is a little thing, but some people like using the Google CAPTCHA stuff. So let me go to my phone and make sure I can see it. Okay. And let's go to live. All right, great. So can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. So here down here, there's a little section that says enable contact us, right? So once we have the Gmail set up and everything, I can while John's talking, if you need the link, John, I'll show you where to go get the CAPTCHA API and all this other, the website key, I should say, right? And this we can come back to, but let me know what you need next for me.
Yeah, the only thing that I need, if you don't mind, Frank, is the actual access to the store, because I'm creating right now the Printful account. And guys, by the way, we're creating the Printful account. If you want, I can show you the process while Frank gives me the password, and how easy it is to create an account with Printful. Should we actually do that, Frank?
Yeah,
I think it would
I
be a
think
good
so.
idea, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I have my Skype on Do Not Disturb. I'm going to send you the details through Skype for the store. And then I think that would be a good process because we have to assume not everyone is as advanced as John Garcia or David Lemon. And for those that are advanced, we thank you for your patience. We just want to see everyone win. And I think this is a valuable step, actually.
All right, so let me share my screen now, Frank. Let me just move all these around a little bit because I had 20 different windows open here on my computer. So let me just do a little switch here and being able to do this. So I'm gonna just share my screen here, if I can, of course. All right, perfect. Screen 2. I believe I have this now. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm actually looking at another screen. And I am going to add this to the stream, and I'm going to just put it full here. All right, guys, so this is the deal. Since everything is just new, completely new for the store, what we wanted to do was get it from zero. We already have the domain for the store. We have the store. So I just created, and this is for the purpose of accountability and to let you guys know this is seriously from zero. We're starting this from scratch. We just created this email address literally 7 minutes ago. I just created this email account because we can create it with stuff that we don't have to pay necessarily for. So I just created that account. It's actually the email address is pretty cool. So it's actually the bestcatswag at gmail.com. So that's gonna be the email that identifies our account. And I'm gonna also open right here in another tab, printful.com. And I'm gonna make sure that I'm not logged into any of my accounts or the company account. So it will be actually, yep, this will be a whole new process. This is where you guys start. And this is an important part because a lot of people say, yeah, but it's just too complicated. I don't know how to do it. So I'm going to do it very slowly. It will probably take me another 7 to 8 minutes to create the account because it's very simple.
I like it. I like it because this you got to start with basics, right? We got to crawl before we walk.
Exactly.
And
So,
I know there's a lot of people here that got the experience, but we want to show just from the simple because through this process, you might discover, oh, I didn't know that step, and that's going to add value to you and your business.
and not only that, but we're showcasing Printful. But remember, guys, we have so many other print on demand companies that we're bringing on board that this will give you an idea of how to follow the process once all those new companies are coming aboard. Because it's very simple, it's actually something that you can do in a few minutes. So, first step, we're going to create the account in Printful. And the only reason why we created a separate account is so we have to make sure that everything is clear. We created a new email address, so we're starting from the get-go. Everything is in zero. So you can see here, guys, this account was created literally 8 minutes ago. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna look, it's still the business profile. We haven't even finished it, so I'll finish that later. But I'm gonna create now the Printful account, of course, using our email address, which I believe is pretty cool. Bestcatswag at Gmail.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
All right.
And this goes in line with what me and John talked about. We want to be transparent with this build and this session, these sessions, I should say, completely, so that you because I'm excited for the session where we go over. I this is a little surprise. We're gonna do a simple TikTok ad. I don't know how it's gonna come about yet. I'm not a TikTok professional. I've ran TikTok ads twice, two different ad campaigns, and just playing around with it. So one of our sessions is gonna cover TikTok ads, and I'm excited because this little store might end up being a revenue stream for Groove. You never know.
Exactly. So, guys, I just pressed the button, and let me just go back because I think I kind of just jumped the gun on that one. And let me see if I can. Frank, can you click the control so you can? Okay, no, just let me do that. All right. So you go click here, sign up. This icon. Let me just put again the full screen. Perfect. And if you have an account with Google, so you can do that, just sign up with Google, or if you want to sign with your email, so any email address will do. I'm going to just sign up with Google. And I believe since I'm logged in with my account that I just created. Oh, no, 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 no. I believe I just select the wrong one. So give me a second, guys. As you can see, we're very big fans of Google. Right here.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good little Gmail. I like it.
Something simple, something to remember. As you can see, it populates everything. So step one is the simple one. If you have a Gmail account, and one situation that I will always recommend, keep your business separate from your personal email. So why? You don't want to get a ton of emails at 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe with the kaching sounds, even though it's exciting, you want to keep them separated. Why? Because then you're going to start receiving emails from your cousin, from your sister, from your mother, from any other relative, or maybe your friends. You want to keep those separate. That's why we created that email address. So right here, we just have to click agree, then sign up. So here, tell us about yourself. Quick questions about your Printful experience. We're starting our first online store. So let's just finish it. That's the only question that Printful will ever ask you as far as of that. Then you already have your account. They will give you 8 to 9 steps to follow. It will be completely up to you guys to follow them. Now, what we recommend is since we're creating a new store, maybe we'll have to complete a couple of steps that are important. Mainly confirming your email. The very second step that you see there, confirm your email to get relevant updates of the welcome guide. This is one of the most important ones. So once you create the account, you have to make sure that you confirm your email. So verify your email. And it says, we have sent a confirmation email to bestcatso@gmail. Follow the instruction to finish sign up. Let's just take a look. Let's see if it's true. All right. So we got the email. We got the email confirmation. So all that you got to do is click on the confirm email address, confirm the email address, and voila. Now we have the account ready. Oh, this is awkward. What happened? Take me home. Let's see. Okay. This is the account. Oh, because I was logged in already. So let me just go here. Now I'm in the account. Let's take a look. Let's go to dashboard. Now
Yeah.
let's see. Sorry, Frank?
Oh no, I was about to say now one of them should show us in a second that we've covered that, and now that's one less step there. See, well, no, not yet.
Let me see what happened here because I just confirmed it. So let's see, got it. And I just confirmed. Let me just confirm it again. Confirm the email address.
That's strange. Maybe copy that link that they have in the email.
Yep, that's what I want to do. And guys, this is the beautiful thing about live events. Things like this happen.
Yeah.
Don't panic. All that you got to do, because they said it themselves here. If you're having a problem with the button, just copy paste the link in your browser address bar. So let's just do that. Let's just copy the whole address. Copy. Let's just paste it. And it's still the same error.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, look at that. That's strange.
Okay, they confer. Okay, let's take a look. The request from. Let's just request it again.
Yeah.
Why not?
And this is just a good example of, guess what? This shows you that sometimes technology doesn't work with us all the time, and we got to figure it out. So
let's just request. Let's see. Change
it's there,
details.
right? I mean,
It's here. Is the
oh,
account?
wait, look. See what it says? Looks like you registered or changed your email. Come back in 12 minutes, but it's actually correct, ain't it? bestcatswag@gmail.
Yeah, that's what I selected this account. So I don't know what happened here,
That's
but
strange.
things like this could happen and are happening. So let's just wait the 12 minutes because it's
Gotcha.
supposed to have created the email right away and it's supposed to have confirmed it. But in the meantime, Frank, let me ask you: were you able to send me the login for the store? Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, and if you want, stop sharing, and I'll put the camera on me.
Yep, let me do that. So while I log into the account, so I'll send you the camera right now to you.
All right, okay, guys. So while John's doing that, so again, this is a simple example of sometimes things go wrong, and that's okay. The main thing I want to point out to you, and John agrees, I'm sure, is guess what? In business and in life, right? We run across things, obstacles, speed bumps. The point is just keep moving forward, figure it out. If anything, you got to get on with support. Printful has a live chat. I'm not sure their hours, but they're usually pretty quick during normal business hours. You can get somebody to help you right away. And once John gets all that squared away and he's logged in, then one of the things I'm going to do before we end the session is I'm going to give you a link to all those files, but it's going to come to a point, I think, in this session where we set up a sample product, and I'm going to hand it back to John while he's talking. I'm going to see if we can have a sample cat design to use as a setup, and then I'll give you the free images at the end. Does that sound good, John?
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm actually right now back in the account.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm about to share my screen again. So let me just do that. Let's just do this here now. Perfect. So we're looking at the screen where we have the account. So we're gonna go in here to the admin dashboard for the store. And in a second, I'll show you guys where to connect all these beautiful stuff. So let's see, what is the counter there now as far as the request? Okay, hold on. Oh no, this is the same. Let me just click in here again. See if we can request it again. I don't know. It had to do with the fact that the email address was just created as well. I don't know. I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe, when you clicked and then you clicked out of it again, maybe that caused it. Uh, it shouldn't keep us from setting up a product. So,
Yeah, no,
um,
not really. So, well, the only thing is we have to create the store. So let's take a look at that because it says here that we have 2 weeks. Actually, this is very important, guys. It says that you have 2 weeks to confirm your store. So the sooner that you can do it, the better. But don't do it this soon, apparently, because it will trigger a couple of things. So in the meantime, let me just take a look at this here. So this is the same settings. So we're kind of stuck in confirm your email. So let's just go to create a store in the meantime. So you can do that. You can jump between spaces. So don't know which platform to use. Let's just do this. So let's just, it's going to ask you a couple of things about the marketplace of the stores that you want probably to complete. I mean, to get. And let me see if I can just bypass all this new craziness because it's recommend the actual stores. So let's just see if I can come back to my dashboard and just do it directly. Let me just see here. I guess is because if it is a new account, and I don't know, guys. I'm sorry, but my internet seems to be working also really slow. How can you see that, Frank, or are you experiencing the
yeah, it's
same
just,
thing?
there you go. It's just stalling, just a little slow, but I see your dashboard now. It's just strange, but that's okay. We're going to keep on trucking. If you want, let's see. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, and we just want to do it so that
Oh no,
it
hold on.
keeps on.
I hold on. It's just it was just too slow because this didn't load up the first time. So we got so yeah, we're set here, Frank. No worries. So I'm gonna open two things. So what we're gonna do here, remember, guys, to connect our GrooveKart, we only need the manual API, which is right here. We don't need to use any of other stuff. We want to get there, and in order to get there, we need you guys to order from Printful and just gonna make us grow with it, so they will realize that we are a worthy competitor for having their products, and then we're gonna have like a unified and more solid connection. And when I say solid connection, we allow to do certain things that we're gonna be able to do in the future. Now, so far we have the API connection, which is works the same. It's just a little different dynamics. So let me just create it right now. So I'm gonna create uh, the store. So we're gonna create a custom store here. We're gonna call it AdSwag. Right, Frank?
Yeah, my cat swag. Cat swag's fine because it's just for us, So
Awesome. So it's gonna it's taking a little longer, guys, and I do apologize. You see now the store is created, so you can create in the same screen the store. So once you create the store, you create the API. So let me just go here to the settings. And this is important, guys. A lot of people, and you know what? I might have to kill the camera here, Frank, because
yeah,
it's not allowing me to show the full screen.
yeah. And if you
So,
want to, we can show in a second. Connecting it. I'm gonna share my screen, and then you can pass me the API string of code or whatever.
oh, I'm already in the store, so no worries. I'm already in here in the store, so we can actually just complete the process here. So, guys, for this one, we're gonna need a dual window open. You need the actual office, the back office of your GrooveKart store, and then of course your store here in Printful. So now that you have created the store and you have selected the API, what you have to do is go down here where it says settings, API. Once you click API, it's going to take you to another screen where it's going to ask you a couple of questions and it's going to create the connection, the API connection for your store. So you see it's going to take you, what store is it? It's called CatSwag. I'm going to enable the access. You're going to click I understand. It pretty much is telling you all the legalities. Don't sell anything illegal. Don't do anything crazy out of the ordinary, and a couple of other things.
Yeah, and then of course, we did it fast, but just double check stuff. You know, you might not be comfortable with some stuff, but it's just the same thing. Every company you use, it's going to print stuff and send it to your customers. Excuse me. They're all going to have their set of terms. So just review them.
Perfect. So now you're going to get this number right here, this API key code. So since you have the API key code, you selected the store API key. A couple of very important situations here, guys. You do not need to create separate Printful accounts for separate stores. Under the same account, you can create different stores in the same token with GrooveKart. So you can create different stores using the same account, and then you can just connect it to different domain names. In this case, we're going to connect it later to the store, which we're going to do it now. And this is the store. So I'm going to copy this number right here. So we're going to copy the API key. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the dashboard here in Groove. And we're going to go to our, I believe it's settings.
Products, print on demand.
Products. That's correct. Products, print on demand. And the very next step is selecting, of course, Printful. And yes, my internet is very slow today. So we're going to click connect here, learn more. We're going to switch this to the on position. You're going to see this little gear over here to click configure. Now, once you click configure, what will happen is a single line will open. And that single line is where you enter your API key, which I have it copied from the settings here in Printful. I'm going to copy it again. Printful, paste it,
voila.
Save the key. Now, guess what? Now you're connected to Printful. And if it wasn't for the verification email, would have been done this maybe 6-7 minutes ago.
Yeah,
but right now it's connecting. So you have saved the key. Everything is, you're going to get a green message right here that says configuration updated, meaning your store is officially connected to Printful. Now, let's just make sure. Let me just close this window. So when you leave here, for example, to home, now you're going to have this connection to keep, of course, the products that you're going to be adding from Printful. So let's just verify it again. Products, print on demand.
Yeah, once you save that configuration, it'll be toggled on, and then you'll see it right there. You click on that little cog, and then we should see that code sitting there.
Right there.
That's it. All right. I love it.
So now, two things to actually just remember here, guys. In the configuration page, you will only have to see this. So remember, Printful is a single key configuration. Nothing else is needed. Just a single key right here. Now, product search and orders, in the next sessions, we'll tell you what are those for and how easy to connect certain things are using this screen right here, what is your Printful print on demand settings button, or settings page rather. So now, Frank, now that we have connected this store, what's next? Let's see if I can do the confirmation on the email. Let me just, I'm still having a little bit of a battle with this one here.
Yeah, it's kind of to me, I'm kind of annoyed too that it's doing that. So, I mean, again, somebody mentioned the first login with the wrong Gmail could be affecting it, which I think that's probably what it is. I'm assuming probably after our session, it's probably going to get fixed, or it's going to start working. And I'm sure it's something that Printful can help us with. So I think we are bouncing around, but we're trying to show you kind of some things that make sense, because once you get the main configuration set up with the domain and your logo, what's going to probably take the longest is beautifying it, right? Making the store look nice and things like that. But I think since we connected Printful and we showed the process of setting up the product, we could just maybe touch on how to set up a simple product using Printful. And I could use this time to show in a few minutes where to find vectors and PNGs.
Perfect. Yeah, actually, since we're kind of just at the top of the half hour, right now it's 4:40. Let me just take a look at if there are any questions so far, and we can just kind of try to address them while you prepare for that, Frank, if you don't mind. I have here a question from Adolf Katia. Again, I created a store last week to follow, but I don't like the name. Would I be able to change it at some point? Yeah, you can. You can send a request to support at Groove Digital, or better yet, oh, let me just remove my screen here for a second. Better yet, you can actually delete that store and start with the name that you like. I think it will be the easiest and fastest way to follow, because if you want to do that, then you might probably want to run into any issues that, okay, I want to delete the store, but just change the name. So I think it's easier to delete the store and actually create a new one. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Uh, awesome. Good afternoon. Let's take a look here. I know there was a question by Kevin Strite right here somewhere. Let's take a look. Oh, here it is. What's this? So Kevin, Kevin asked, "Was this?" So I safe to assume you were talking about this, Kevin. This actually is the code that you need to connect your store to the Printful account. We just created a Printful account right now using a brand new Gmail account. So with this information, you can connect your store so you can sell print-on-demand products. And let's just show the next question. How are things progressing with the icon personalization integration? Frank, any news on that?
Yeah, we had an update, a call today, and it's moving along. So in the next 2 weeks, I have another meeting with Matt Serrata, and it's coming along good. And I told everybody first quarter of 2022. So that's I'm not going to promise anything else as far as anything closer, but it is coming, and we're excited about it. So just be ready for that. And when it comes to this training, I know we're not following all the steps here simply because spoke about setting up the account in Printful, because we think that step for people that might be new to all this is important to cover. So you're going to see as we're working through these sessions, anything we show you is going to make sense and it's going to be pertinent. So in other words, like I'm not going to cover, like, let's just say certain features in GrooveKart that you don't necessarily need to get a store up and running. It's like extra added things. And when I come across that, I'm going to point that out, because there's some things that even me, when I set up a store, I don't worry about. Why? Because I want to get up and running quickly. I want to make sure I have my Google Analytics in there. I want to make sure the style is nice. I want to make sure I have a logo. I want to make sure my upsells are working properly, and then I hit the ground running. There's some things I don't touch in GrooveKart simply because I don't need them to turn sales over.
And not only that, guys, but remember, and I am glad that in this process, when we decided to retake the GrooveKart process and we decided to do one for pretty much from scratch, this is exactly the same way that any of our customers might interact. We bouncing around. We're actually doing one thing. As soon as we come up with the idea, okay, get it done. Because if you don't do it, if you try to follow a process, which is great, I'm not saying not to follow a process, but whenever you're doing a situation where you have to act on speed, you can actually go on that pattern, get the next step working right now. So let's say if you have ideas on how to create products. In order to do that, you need to have your connection ready. So there it is. You have now your connection ready. So next step will be, now that we have the connection, I believe the Printful just confirmed the email. I want to refresh my account here so we can all see it. And Frank, so you want to just do an add a product. So all that you need to do is
Yeah.
show your screen. The store is
Yeah.
already loaded. So I'm going to give you the reins right now. So go for it, my friend.
Okay, so first thing I want to cover is real quick, simple way. I'm going to share my screen now. And then somebody asked a question about where do they find their API for GroovePay. Once you get your username and login for GroovePay and you log into GroovePay, and the dashboard, just look for tools and you click on tools on the left, and you're going to see your API that you just copy and paste. Very simple. So I'm not going to show that, but it's very simple. Log into your GroovePay, look on the left side, and one of them says tools. When you click that, boom, you're going to see your API. It's just one line of code similar to Printful. You copy and paste it into your GroovePay settings under the merchant processing, payment processing section.
if you want, Frank, right after you're doing that, I can actually log in really quickly and just show you guys where to find it. I actually happen to have GroovePay open here, so we can do that right after. So we're gonna show your screen will be great, so we can actually just keep going.
All right, let's move. Let's move it. I like to move it. Move it. Okay, so let's go here, and then let's see. We're gonna go into Etsy. Okay, this is something very simple you can do. Okay, you can go to Etsy and type in whatever your keyword is, vector or PNG. So watch. I'm gonna switch this to PNG, cat mom. And the reason I said cat mom is because our thing is called My Cat Swag. So it just makes sense, right? So look at this. Let me just let's see. Let's pick this one. It's $1, right? So look at this, cat mama. Just a girl who loves cats. So you get all of these for $1. Okay. And now what does this mean? Well, it's going to give me the SVG bundle, which gives me all these formats: SVG, DXF. I don't even know what that means. You don't have to be technical wizard, e-commerce wizard to do this stuff. But I do know what PNG is, okay? And that's just a file format for the images. I know since I started selling e-commerce, most of the time I used either PNG format or JPEG, depending on what I'm doing, right? When you're making shirts, typically you're going to use PNG unless it's an overall shirt that covers the entire arms, legs, back. I mean, the arms, the neck, the front, and the back. And it's called an all over design. When it's an all over design, they want JPEG, but I'm not going to get into that. But here we are in Etsy. You can type in something like, let's say, dog, mom, shirt, vectors, right? And I misspelled it. So look at this. Huge pet mom, dog mom, commercial use. You want to make sure that you're looking and you're purchasing stuff that allows you to resell the designs on products. Now, for the most part, that's almost every one of the items that you find here, as far as vectors, PNGs, and SVG. But you always want to look for commercial, because maybe they say when you buy them that they only allow you to use them for personal use. So how would somebody use one of these for personal? Well, they buy them, and then they have this little vinyl machine, and they connect it to their vinyl machine, and it cuts it out, and then they can use it to make, craft, arts and craft shirts and things like that at home. So you want to look for commercials so that you can resell them. So here it is in the title. But if we go down here, let's just see what it says. Let's see. I'm going to Control F. And let's see if it's in here anywhere else. So they just put it in the title. So this is basically tells me I'm free to use it. Okay. So this says dog mama, home is where the cat is. Let's buy this one. It's $6.72. So what am I going to do? I'm going to buy this, and then we're going to use it. And we're going to pick one and use it as a product. So let me just hurry up, right? So let me go proceed to checkout. And then I'm going to stop sharing. And that way you don't come knocking at my door. Just kidding. I'm not even anymore. But let me go ahead and buy it, and then we're gonna hop in. I'm gonna download it, and then I'm gonna pass you the file, John, since you have Printful open, and then we'll go from there.
Perfect. Give me just 1 second. I'm actually
Yeah.
going to log in really quickly here.
So I'm gonna do the purchase real quick, and then we're gonna rock and roll. Okay, and let me confirm. Okay, so let me just buy it with my card. Okay. No. Okay.
Just make sure that you don't show the card to the world.
Yeah, that's why I stopped sharing. So let me just do it, and I don't mind. I'll just expense it later. John, you can buy me a beer later.
There you go.
So let me just buy it real quick. It's $6.72. So, and I'm gonna share my screen again right now, and you're gonna see, wow, for less than eating at almost anywhere now, we're getting what? How many designs, right? So let me go to the receipt, view downloads. Here it is. So I'm going to view downloads, and I'm going to show you what we get. So this came. I'm going to open up the link and share one more time.
Awesome.
And let me share it.
Now, Frank, well, you're already sharing your screen because I
Yeah.
was ready to show a couple of things here, though. For those that actually ask about GroovePay, I was able to
Okay,
log
great.
in. So let
So
me just
how
go
many
ahead.
did we get? Now I'm just looking to see how many we got. We got a lot. I don't even see the number of how many, but I mean, there's at least 30 different designs here. So I'm gonna pick one. I'm just gonna save time and pick a design while you're showing them about GroovePay, and then I'm gonna pass you the design through Skype, and then we can keep on moving once you're done with GroovePay.
Perfect. All right, guys. So as you can see in the screen right now, we have the merchant information. Of course, I'm not going to go into the account, but once you log in into your GroovePay, you have these things right here in this icon at the end, which is your account information. So once you click in the account information, you have your Groove API key. So this will be the API key that you will actually need in order to connect your payment with GrooveKart. So we will have a separate session for that, but I wanted to kind of just help out that person that actually asked that question. Where do I find that API key connection from GroovePay to GrooveKart? So it's right there, right at the very last icon right here, account information. And once you click in there, you will see it there. So now let me just close this out and we're going to go back here to my Printful. Let's see if they confirm the email address, since it seems to not liking the idea of not confirming the email address for some reason. Now, and I still believe there's something kind of slowing my computer today for some unbeknownst reason to me. And okay, let's just confirm the email again. Let's see if that will work. Let's see if we get the email. And if we do, let's see what happens. Now, Frank, you have the file ready. We have the connection ready. And you want to do the design or you want me to do the design? Frank, can you signal me 1 second?
Yeah, I was muted. Sorry. I'm gonna pass you two designs, and then we can decide on one. Okay.
Perfect. Awesome. So
I, I,
that'd be
I
great.
sent it to. I sent you the first one in Skype. I'm gonna send you a second one because I kind of didn't like that one after I sent it. I kind of like the second one, but we'll let somebody, if you want to, let the audience vote. I send them to you in Skype, and then we can cover it once you look at them.
Awesome. All right. So let's do something. Let's just kind of share it with the audience. What do you think?
Yeah, let's vote. I just sent two out of the. See, so there it is. I mean, they're cute. So I'm kind of torn. Which one is? Which
Less
one is?
people, more cat, and home is where the cat is. I like that one. All right, and I think I already just by knowing the uh, I already have my favorite, but let's ask. So guys, number two. So let's pretend number one is at the top, number two is at the bottom. So this is number one. Let me see. Can we actually just? I don't think we can draw here, but let's just see if I can.
We got three people that said bottom and number two. So I think two. Yeah, everyone's going with number two so far. Yeah,
Home is where the cat is. So let's
yeah,
do that. Let me download this image right now.
yeah.
So it's actually, let's just save it to downloads.
I mean, how
And
simple is that design? But at the same time, it's nice. You know why? Because it's easy to read. You get the gist of it. If someone loves cats, they're gonna align with that message.
I think it's actually what it means, and not so much the actual design, but the message, which is
Yeah,
something also to consider, guys. The design could be the greatest design, but if it's not something impactful, something that means something to somebody, maybe it will not have the same success. So a great combination of a great example is this one. Home is where the cat is. So we can probably just manipulate it a little bit, change it a little bit of colors, add something to it, and you'll see how easy to do it is. So let me just now move this out of the way here. Let me minimize it. I believe I have the file now. So since I'm sharing my screen, let me just bring back the store right here. So we have it connected already. So we still haven't got the email confirmation. So I'm not going to worry about that one now. But let's just go to stores. So we have already store here created and ready to go. So let's just, why is it doing this? What is it taking me to? the same things. I already have my store here ready, so I don't know why.
There it
Okay,
is.
add product. Yeah, it's definitely something's lagging today for some reason, and I apologize, guys. I had some problems with my internet. Right, we had a little bit of a storm the other day, and after that, my internet is being deprecating. So now, what can we do here? We have a nice logo. It's where the cat is, where the home is. So what exactly should we do? Let's just, you want to do a t-shirt or a mug or something
Uh,
else?
I think we should do a hoodie because it's cold in most places.
All right, so let's actually do a women's hoodie, and let's just try to get it as soon as we can. So this is let's just do this white one, which is the basic stuff. But you know what? Let me go back because I'm going to give you a little bit of information. Let me just before I tend to actually just always move a little faster. So I need to get better at this when it comes to speed, because that was one of the things that a lot of people mentioned. Guys, you actually doing this a lot faster. So let me just start over. We're going to add a product. We're going to add the hoodie, right? But I want you to consider something, guys. Printful and as well as many other companies have a lot of different products. And there are a couple of things that you should consider. One, price. Two, availability for colors. And three, styles. So don't forget that price, colors, and style, or what I call it is the PCI. So PCS, I'm sorry. So what you have here, we're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with, we said hoodies, and you have the prices right here. And this is a little bit of a tidbit information. You see, this is your cost: 27, 20, 18, 33, 22, 21, $15. This is 18. This is a lot of things to consider. Remember, the quality of a product doesn't always determine by the actual price. I have sold this heavy blend right here from Gildan, which is very good quality. It's a little bit hotter if you decide to sell in the summer months, so I won't recommend that. I will recommend it now for this time of the year because it's cold, and this is a little bit more heavier. And also this one right here, which is actually this one. This is the Gildan is one, and the I'm sorry, the Cotton Heritage, which is the second one. You see, the difference in prices is very minimal. One is 1536, 1820. What I like about is their colors. There are a lot of colors available, so you can actually present. Remember, when selling to females, and most of the females right now here in the stream, I mean the recording, will agree with me. They will always want to see colors. They will always see options, and I know that options is always a key. So I'm gonna go with this one, which is the heavy blend, and it has a lot of other colors to actually match. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna just pick the color that we're gonna just have the main product. So remember, it's a product for ladies. So let's make sure that we can. Black is always good. It's a good color to have a certain product. But since we're kind of just going to the female audience, always pick a good product. And of course, we have to make sure that the mockups always kind of reflect that. So we're gonna just go with softer colors, maybe right here. Maybe this one, and this one. So this just is a couple of tones and a couple of colors that are going to appeal to the female audience. And I know Frank will definitely agree with this, that the more options you have as far as of colors, the better. One thing, don't go crazy. Don't offer 35 different colors and 16 different sizes. Always know your market. So if you have a good indication of what colors might be, depending on the your target audience, let's say is females between 25 to 45, you can select certain colors like the pastel colors, reds, blues, soft colors. So you can go by that as well. But the more options, the better.
Yeah. And something to be said here, because it's in the cat niche, and John's mentioning, it's going to be skewed more towards female. Don't get me wrong, I like cats too. We don't have any, we own dogs, my kids, my granddogs, but I know that makes total sense. But with that, and I know sometimes I like to play devil's advocate. With that being said, though, remember mean old Dan Kennedy says a confused mind never buys, doesn't buy. So you either, you know, I like I like more no more than 3 color options. That's me. And it's up to you. Don't get me wrong. Don't let me or John convince you. What I've learned in this business is I learn from successful people, and then I make my own assumptions based on everyone that I've learned from, and then I create that twist, that formula based on what I think. Right. So do what's best for you and your business. I recommend no more than 3. And then I recommend always, depending on the image, black should be one of the number ones, because overall they've done studies. They've looked at major e-commerce brands. The number one selling color hoodie and t-shirt is black.
Like, yes.
That's it. And then from there, just the percentage drops tremendously. But with this being said, this is cat swag. This is where I don't even know the number. I can guarantee you it's probably 75% or more are female. I know that. I
Yes.
guarantee you it's not less than 75%.
Remember, anything that has to do with the animal niche, it will always have a touchy feeling about it. So
Yeah.
it is more warmth, is more feeling. So remember,
Mm-hmm.
and along the way, you're gonna guys, you're gonna learn this. And most of us that have been doing this for years, we start understanding our customers because it is our first product. And remember, it's only one product. You can do A/B testing with your products. If it doesn't work, the colors doesn't work, then you can actually shift to something else. That's the beauty of an open, evergreen kind of niche like it is pets and pets products. So I'm actually right now here. We selected the color. Now I'm going to bring the file. So it says drop your design here. Maybe you guys saw this. I'm gonna just bring my downloads here. I
Make
do
sure you
have,
write. Make sure you pick the right image, John
yeah,
Garcia. I'm joking. I'm goofing around. I'm goofing around.
I know you're goofing around because I think I picked the right one.
John's like, no, that stuff's on another computer, not this computer. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Guys, it's all in fun. We like to have fun here. So
And yeah, it's something either with my connection today or maybe my computer, but it is
there we
going good.
go. And
Now,
remember, this PNG is a gray tone. So
right. And something that I wanted to touch, guys, remember, every time you have to check your file because you're going to get a surprise like this. Right now, I might have to change this file because it is a great PNG. So you want to make sure that it's either white for depending on the tones because in red, it doesn't look that good.
yeah,
But
it's
in
kind
this
of weird,
color,
right?
so
So
it kind of looks iffy. But in this color, for example, looks very good. And
John,
in
you
this
want it
one,
in? I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you want it in black or white? I can do that while you're talking to everybody.
yeah, if you can actually do it in both to see
Okay, let me
how.
do
Yeah,
that.
let's do
I'm
that.
gonna
Let's
mute
do it in
myself.
both colors so we can actually show the range of these things.
Perfect.
And as you can see, it's as easy as this. And remember, guys, when you're dealing with Printful, let me just make this full screen again so you guys can see because in my screen it's kind of small here. So always have in consideration when you're creating a product, if it's your first product, this is a test, remember, make sure that your image is centered because if you move the image right here or in the corners, it will not show it. This is the great thing about Printful. They thought of everything when it comes to the product creation. So when you move the image to the left or to the right or too much up or too much down, it will not show. That means that it will not print. You can actually maximize the image a little bit and play with it, but the best is give yourself a little bit of a space. And if you have a slightly doubt of how big it is or how the measurement should go, always click the zoom in button so you can see exactly where everything goes. And if you don't want to see the grid or if you want to see the grid, so you have that option as well. But always try to make sure that you center the image as much as possible. I know some images are going to be circles, some rectangles, some triangles. Just make sure that within your printing space, which is right there, you can actually see it comfortably and snug it into the middle. So now let me just zoom it out. And I believe this is our winner right here. So let me just make it a little bit bigger. We're gonna just leave it like this. And just for the sake of time, let's just save this up. Let's just make sure that, let's say this is it. Now remember, Printful allows you also to bring some sort of clip arts and other images. So let's just see if we can add a cat somewhere. Let's see if we have a cat. Uh, let's just bring this one right here. Try to make it go with the actual style. Let me see if it bring it or not. Let me see. Just a little bit celebratory here, like a little balloon.
All right, John, I passed you the white version and the black version.
Cool. Oh, so if you have the dark version, let me just get it here. Let me just read this one, so we can actually just move it. Safe to assume you was in Skype, my friend. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So, and you see, this is a fun process because you can work with somebody remotely, and you
Yeah, I
can
mean,
spend the afternoon doing this.
if you guys get along, if you have someone that you guys, synergize with, and you have that like accountability partner or something. Hey, me and John Cornetta, we first started an ecom together, working on ads together, working on our Teespring stuff together, and it helped us, right? And then we were, being stubborn, and we weren't making money. This is 2013, I think. And then he said, "You know what, Frank? Let's just, you do it, I'll do it, and then we'll compare notes." And that helped us because we were masterminding daily. And so I highly encourage you to find somebody that you don't necessarily have to partner with, but you guys hold each other accountable and are trading notes. And next thing you know, that's just going to help you shoot up even faster.
Perfect. Now, as you can see, guys, I just added this little balloon kind of thing with the cat, and then the actual design that Frank just shared with me. So there it is, guys. There's the first product. Now, important also as a very second step will be the mockups. So let's say you finish your design, everything is great. You tested, you take a look at different colors. Let's say red might be okay. This blue is also nice, even though white will work better in some designs than others. But just for the sake of timing, let's just do it this way. So we're going to proceed to the mockups. To create your mockups, you'll go to the button that is at the bottom of the page and proceed to mockups. And then you can decide. One important thing with the mockups, guys, is always try to show the full figure. If you cannot show the full figure, don't cut their heads, don't cut their faces. If you're gonna only just show something, just make sure that you show everything. Because I know Printful had some mockups that it was actually like half face. I don't like this personally. It kind of just dehumanizes the sales process. And I know
Yeah,
that if you're laughing, it's because of a reason. So I'd rather see mockups like this, for
those are
example.
nicer. Yeah, those are nicer.
So for this one right here, it actually showcases the full. So let's go with this one. So we're gonna just
Yeah.
leave this. We're gonna have this, and we're gonna proceed to the details.
And guys, not this session, but next session, I'm going to show you another trick to Printful where you can actually add a lot more than what comes in here when you're first setting it up. And we'll go over that in the next session.
It's actually home is where the cat is, right?
Yeah.
Home is where the cat is. So product title, then proceed to pricing. You can name it anything you want, just proceed to pricing. And once you proceed to pricing, this is very important. And I know Frank will gonna chime in here, and I know we're already past the hour, but this is important, guys. We need to make sure that you price your product accordingly. This is very important. Printful will give you a suggestion. Printful will actually offer you a small calculator here on your price, what is going to cost you, and the retail price that is recommended. Doesn't mean that you have to keep following this advice, but it's always recommended that you have a guideline. So Printful, this is a very usable tool that allows you to do that. So What do you think, Frank? Is this the right price for the cat is where the home is where the cat is? What do you think?
No, 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 no. This I'm thinking back when I was selling hoodies when I first got started. I was selling them starting at $39.95, and that was what is that? It's been 7 years or more. So, I mean, you, I wouldn't spend too much time of looking what other people do, right? Like, oh, there's 4 stores. Now, what you could do is look at 5 stores and average the price. But at minimum, I would charge $42 or more for small, and then go from there. At minimum.
So let's say $42. So 42, the it will give you a profit of $20.
Right. And me, I either do no cents, or I do 95 cents. That's just my thing. And then on the compare, I put whatever dot 99. That's just the
Correct.
thing I do. So um I so I would do either 42 or 42.95. And then real quick, you see how they charge us more for the 2x and the 3x, and I put in
Yes.
that difference.
I was about to go there because I put this in generally, but always have in mind that if it charge you more because if it's a larger size or maybe a color or something like that, just make sure that you actually add that. So this will be 44 and this will be 46 if that scale is correct.
Yeah, and
So
listen, guys, let's not kid ourselves. I'm not a skinny guy, and so I'm now in an extra large. Thank you. At one point in my life, a few years ago, I was 4X. I was big, right? So I knew I had to pay more money for shirts because I was a big dude. I love to eat, right? So don't be worried, don't be shy. Listen, if you have to pay more because it's more material involved, guess what? That's the cost of doing business, right?
that
So
exactly.
people understand that.
All right. So, guys, now let's just go to the very next step, which is saving the product. So, now we have already determined the pricing. So, we're going to click save the product and it's adding it to right now to the store. Now, it's adding it to the actual store here in Printful. We still have one step left. You see, it's added now to your store. So, we're going to go here to the store. Actually, it goes automatically there, and you will see it there in a second.
So I know, for the advanced audience, thank you for your patience. We're just trying to get everyone a good feel of knowing that, guess what? You can be comfortable. You're not going to break nothing. You can go in here and just set up a bunch of test products just to get it to where next thing you know, it becomes where you are unconsciously conscious of what you're doing.
Right. All right, guys. So now we have it here. It has the variants. This is the product. It's already here in the store. So now what we have to do is let's take a look at our store here in GrooveKart. So right now we have create the connection. And remember, guys, at the beginning when I said, hey, right after we connect this, we're going to have a couple of things that these buttons are very useful: product search and orders. So this is kind of where we actually search for the product. So now we're going to take a look to see if the product is here. So we're going to search for the word home.
Yeah.
And guess what? Now, this, I just typed the word home because that's the keyword that you created the actual product with. Home is where the cat is. So I'm going to add it to my store. So we have the product, we have the variants, the colors. I'm going to add it to my store. Now that it will happen, the magic of the internet, as we call it, this product is going to be now added to your list of products in GrooveKart. It took us exactly 18 minutes to create the product. It was the first product. And there's a couple of things here that you need to do. We haven't selected categories. We haven't selected anything. So it will give you the default categories. And you will do this. You will make the same mistake that we just did. And it wasn't a mistake. It was something that we purposely did so we can connect the store and create a product. But always recommend to create the categories first.
Mhm.
Right, Frank? So let's just
Yeah.
start organizing a little bit here. We just thought it would be a great opportunity to take it as a second step to connect the store. We kind of jumped the gun and created a
Yeah.
product because we're so excited to actually show you guys.
Yeah, that's mostly my fault simply because you know, John's head of support and he's working on stuff. I got stuff going on, and then I'm like, oh man, we got an hour before we hop on. And that's totally my fault because I didn't map this out with John ahead of time. But this serves as a good training because of the fact that you're going to find that only maybe 2% of the people watching are super organized, super structured. And that's okay if you're not, because you can still generate sales even though you're not. Now, don't get me wrong, we have to improve, right? And just like right now, I just remembered I said consciously conscious. What I meant was unconsciously competent, is what I meant, where it becomes second nature, unconsciously competent. So you're going to do this so often to where you can just do it, almost with your eyes closed. So with that being said, we should have created categories, but guess what? Hey, we're doing this. I know you're getting a lot of value from this. And so we're going to cover that if we have time. If you want to, for 2 minutes, you can touch base on that after you set up this.
Yep, actually, let's create the category here. Since we have the product waiting there, we can actually create the categories really quickly. So you're going to go to products. And this is something that I always do. I just always open it in another window. Don't judge me. I like to have
I
35
do,
windows open.
I do the same thing. If you looked at mine, it's like, if you're not a marketer unless you have at least 30 tabs.
Exactly.
Just kidding.
That's that. I heard somebody else saying that if you don't work in e-commerce or marketing, if you don't have 35 plus tabs open.
Yeah.
So to create a category, guys, and again, we're going to touch on this again in deeper in the next session. But this is for the as Frank said, we're just going to jump the gun. But this is what makes it fun. So to create a category, we just press the create a category button, and we're going to call this women's hoodies. Women's hoodies, right there.
Yeah, and with that being said, we'll start doing that. We'll say women's hoodies, women's shirts, women's. We can say, we can break it down, right? And then we might have accessories, we might have home goods. It just depends how far we get. The main thing is we're establishing those categories. So if you're not sure, go look at, let's just say, another brand out there that's established. And don't get overwhelmed, by the way, when you do this and you see that they have freaking 100 different categories and 100 different things on the menu. Guess what? Those are billion-dollar companies. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't freak out.
Yeah, and remember, try to keep everything manageable. A lot of people, and this is by experience, guys. A lot of people that tend to create a store, they think I'm going to have 50,000 products. I'm going to have 100,000 products. When you started, that will overwhelm you to a point that you don't want to see the store for the next 6 months. Yes. And then you have lose momentum. Keep it simple. I heard somewhere, I believe it was some graffiti in a store, it says, keep it simple, keep it stupid. And I think that's the way to go. In business, you have to, at some point, keep it stupid so people can just see what you have to sell and order it. So we're going to just call this women's hoodies, very simple category. And here's another little piece of advice. Right here at the very bottom, let me see if I can make sure this a little bit larger here or move it a little bit here. Friendly URL. Guys, this could be your best friend or your worst enemy. Mm-hmm. Because this is what actually going to dictate how Google reads your store. Make sure that you have no misspellings and no spaces, more importantly, in this link, in your friendly URL. Why? Any spaces or double dashes or things like that will actually create a disruption in the way that your SEO might work. Always keep it. If you're going to have 2 words in your search, in your URL, just make sure that you have the dash. If you have 2 dashes, it will be considered as a double space, and that breaks the keyword. Remember that. Do not allow that to happen. Make sure that only has 1 dash, and at the end, you don't have any hidden spaces. So we're going to leave it as a friendly hoodies. Meta title, you can add whatever you want. Meta description, the same. We're not going to do it for the sake of time, but I'm just going to save my category right now. So this category is now saved.
Yeah, and I'd like to add, John, if I may, what you touched on earlier was so important. My first Shopify store, guys, was 1 product, no categories, nothing. Guess what I was doing? I was selling a thing. I'll tell you what it was. I think I mentioned it before. I had a very established fan page where I was just posting stuff for EMT paramedic because I was selling Teespring stuff. So later I said, you know what? I got like 30,000 fans on this thing. And this is back then when fans really meant a lot, right? On pages. And I came up with an idea. I said, fan page appreciation. Get this watch free, just pay shipping.
Just
Okay.
like shipping.
And I made like 100 sales in a weekend. It took me less than a school day. I did it, I think, when my kids were at school. I knocked out, I set up the Shopify store and I started the campaign super late at night. By the time I, set up my Facebook ad, next morning I woke up after like 5 hours and I had already made like, I don't know, 20 sales. And back then it was just so easy to just, man, you could spend $1 and make back $50. And it was
And you
just
know what?
beautiful.
We all have different stories like that. And the funny thing is that it's still that simple. It's all about discovering that right product, that right niche, that right ad. I mean, it all still possible. There's people making thousands of dollars every day, and we've seen those, the progression from Groove, and from GrooveKart specifically. So it is still possible. I mean, I know we, and when I say we, most people that have been working with e-commerce for years, we said back in the day, because back in the day this was the new thing. I mean, when we're talking about Teespring, when we're talking about all these print on demand products that started flooding the market, that's where millionaires, literally millionaires, were born and were created, and those are now the chief of industry. Take a look at John Cornetta. Take a look at Mike Filsaime. Mike didn't do a lot of products, but John actually built a foundation of great products and great t-shirts that he used to sell yourself. So there was a lot of things, a lot of people that made a lot of money and is still making a lot of money to this day. And that's what we want you guys to do. Follow the process, go with the crash course, because I think we just, if you haven't caught the drift right now, we're just trying to have fun, try to give you some value. And let's just not go too much on detail on this, because we got derailed. Let me go back to the adding the product before we actually lose more we get derailed more. So here you guys saw me create the account, I'm sorry, the category. So let me just maximize then here the screen again, and the product title is here. Something that you will see, guys, don't make any changes. It's important. You're gonna be tempted to actually change anything here.
Yeah.
Don't change anything, because if you do change here stuff, this is where you move the product, it might create some sort of complications later down the road. Don't change this, because these are your variants. Your variants mean the options of the product. And then at the end, the very last question is the categories. You have best deals on women's hoodies. We're gonna go with women's hoodies right here, and we're gonna add the product.
Yeah. And best deals, guys, is created by default. You don't have to use that category. It's just in there when you launch your store along with home. I keep home as kind of like the parent, like the tippy top, right? And then everything else is a child of the home category.
Now, guys, as you see here, the product was added. You got the green actually announcement. Now let's just go to my products. So now at this juncture, the product is already in your store. So have in mind one little detail. When you're selecting a lot of variants or colors, importing those images might take a little longer. So if you see that it's taking a little longer, don't worry, the product will be there. We have here this store that has the default products, but there's only one product that is different, which is this one right here. Home is where the cat is. And let's just take a look at the product. Let's just preview it, see how it looks like. And mind you, this is with the default store. This is with the default settings. And in the next sessions, we're going to be talking about how to set up a proper product page, how to set up everything else inside the store. So here, this is just the default product right here, my cat swag. You're viewing, this is where the cat is, and these are the images. As you can see, it showcases fully her face, the product, and you can select the colors. And I believe all the colors are here as long with the sizes. So as you can see, you have either here, when you select the color here, you can also see the sizes, and it will change on the image, so you can actually visually inspect the product like, oh, this is actually nice. It
Yeah.
is your design, it is your product, and pretty much this is where the journey begins. Once you have gotten the customer to a product, you have to make sure that is not only appealing, that it actually has a message, something that you want to portray or kind of just rely on people, and then you can actually just start the journey for the purchase. Now,
Okay.
in a nutshell, pretty much that's how you add a product. We created the product, we added the store, we connected it, and right now our store or my cat swag store is on the way now officially, I guess, right, Frank?
Yeah, and this is just, guys, this is just preliminary. We're gonna dive deep into editing the homepage, the product page, all this stuff, right? So, and then this is we want to reiterate here. We're covering little by little steps. Later on, I plan on doing something with John where we have a crash course and we see how fast we can get a store built without going into all this creating an account at Printful. No, we're going to have another training session after this series, or maybe even a different day where this is a crash course. We just jump in and you're going to see us how fast from 0 to 100 miles an hour we go. And that's a different series. This one, we're covering things where some of you might be falling asleep. And it's just so that we can cover things that, especially for new people getting started in e-commerce, you're going to see the things like creating the account, getting the capture for Google, why we need a Gmail account, stuff like this.
Right.
So I think we're doing really good. And don't let me forget, I'm going to give you the link. I'm not going to train you on these images I'm giving you. I'm putting them in the group for Groove. It's going to be a Google Drive link, and there's over 1,000 different designs. Go through, download them, unzip them, and there's going to be formats of more than just PNG in there. They're free for y'all to use to start playing with Printful.
And Frank, let me just go to a couple of questions that are here already.
Yeah.
So, and just let me just start with this comment. Mina Vol Coaching says, yes, more color choices. It's always a good option. The more choices, the more possibilities you have for selling. And this question actually caught my attention. Bruce Kuczynski asked, is there a way to determine quality without actually ordering a sample? As a matter of fact, there is. Uh, Very simple. There's groups in Facebook for different manufacturers, for Printful, from Tscape. Go to those groups and say, hey guys, who has ordered this specific product? That will give you an idea. It's not the same as a sample. I always love to bring samples. As a matter of fact, I believe I have it somewhere. I actually just ordered because I promised you guys that I'll be doing a design for the shoes. I just ordered them literally 3 days ago because I want to see the quality of the shoes, because that was the next frontier for Printful, and I want to see the quality. I know the quality for Layer Up, which was very good quality, but I want to just compare it because we have options and we have to always understand that. So there's a way to control to see the quality. Go to the forums, go to the channels that the manufacturer has, and ask around. Most importantly, as entrepreneurs, as online marketers, as e-commerce, we have to ask around. Always think of the best deal possible. Whenever you can find things cheaper but with good quality, always go with that supplier. And let's see if we have any other. Andrew Jackson asks, can you change the color of the design on different color shirts, same product page? As a matter of fact, you can, but you have to do it from Printful directly. So that will be another topic, but we will definitely just cover on that. And let's see, this is more than love the nitty gritty, but love what you have in store for us in the future. Yes, Rick, definitely stay tuned. I know we're doing this, and when Frank invited me to this, I go, Frank, I run the support department for the company. It's one of the toughest jobs in the company, and not tooting my own horn here, but dealing with I deal with 325 people every hour, literally. So it is fun because I wanted to come back to my roots because I started doing the very first version for GrooveKart, and it's always fun. But yes, the stuff that we have in the future is going to be mind blowing. And Frank taking the lead on the product, it was an amazing decision by management, and I know he's going to drive it home and he's going to make sure that all of us have more options, more integrations, and more products. So, my friend, it was great to hear that. So I know you're going to just commandeer this thing the best way possible. Now, I believe we have abused half an hour over or a lot of time.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah,
know people will love to sit here and hear us talk, but I know people are busy and we need
yeah,
to save some stuff for next week.
yeah, for sure. We'll continue on this training series next week, same time. Uh, yeah, next week will be the 14th, right? So we'll be good. So we'll continue this series. I'm gonna drop in the Facebook group for Groove.CM, the Google Drive. Go crazy with it. Download it. Just don't resell those images by themselves on Etsy because that breaks the terms. The designer that made all these probably at least 2 or 3 years of just making designs. Okay, she said it was okay, but for our students, not for you to go and freaking resell access to that. Don't please just be honest. I'm trusting you guys to just do it for you. Download it, unzip it, set it up in Printful or Tscape so you can get used to it, right? Or if you already have a story like, oh my God, this is for my niche, go with it, run with it. All right.
Yeah, and one of the things that you got just in closing, guys, as Frank said, sometimes when we're given things like this, we tend to abuse them. So let's just be cool about it. Don't start reselling it because it is wrong. And remember, I always start my businesses, my websites with one thing in mind. What value can I offer my visitors? And also how great of an impact I can make if I can help, and you just help greatly with a couple of the people that may be used to starting. So those designs will definitely mean a lot to them. So thank you for that, Frank.
Yeah,
And
you're gonna love it. There's a bunch of them. So guys, get excited. I'm gonna underneath the replay of this, I'll put the link and maybe make a separate post just saying, hey, this is a bunch of stuff for you to go download and play around and practice. If anything, if you're new to this, practice, practice, practice.
yep, practice makes perfect, guys. So with that said, guys, we're gonna end the broadcast here today. Right now it's 5:30. And thank you for your patience. Thank you for all the little extra time that we used. But we'll see you next week, actually on the 14th, as Frank said. And just be ready. So we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.